Drives so much straighter now. Look at that steering wheel. Straight as can be. Awesome. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to JDS Outdoors. Today's episode, we have the little Ranger in the air, getting ready to figure out why it leans, and also replace pretty much the entire front end. So far we've got the tires off. That's pretty much it. Started soaking a few bolts and nuts to make it come off a little bit easier, but we're gonna go ahead and rip off all this fun stuff in here and replace it with a bunch of new goodies. So if you're as curious as I am to see why this truck leans to the driver's side, feel free to stick along. What's the first hint that your front end may need to be rebuilt? Well, your cotter pins are so rusted into the castle nut that you can't even get the damn things out. Also, when your upper ball joint's about to snap, that might be your first couple hints in its time to replace your front suspension components. Time to beat these out now. Well, I think I found the reason for the tire lean. That ball joint isn't really a ball anymore. A little wore out. Inside the socket is also a little elongated. So that was a couple bumps away from total failure. That could have been fun. Coil spring's fine, but I'm still going to replace them along with the lower control arms now, because the bushings are a little wore out and it's I'm this far, might as well do it. So I'm going to keep proceeding and tearing a bunch of parts off this truck and rebuild the front. Oh, and I think I found a reason for the brake pulsation issue. Yeah, these rotors are a little toast. Good thing we got new ones. This thing's going to drive like a dang Corvette when we're done. Okay, that's a stretch, but it's going to drive pretty darn good. Onwards and upwards. So this lower ball joint was probably playing a little bit of a role in that tire lean there. I'd say she's a little wore out. So if you have a tire that seems to be leaning in one way or the other, check your ball joints. Lower control arms off. I just got to take the upper off and start putting her back together. Well, ladies and gents, here we have one heck of a mess. Gotta love working on projects. This is why I can only do one at a time, and then I gotta pull everything out and clean everything and organize. Because, yeah, that's hideous. But anyways, so we got the front end rebuilt here. Fun fact for you. If you plan on working on a late 90s, early 2000s Ranger, make sure you know what size rotor you need to get. Apparently there's two different ones. I had no idea. But if you notice the gap right here to that dust shield, see what it looks like on this side? This is the passenger side. Over here on the driver's side, that rotor's a little bit bigger. I come to find out that there's two different sets of spindles and two different sizes of rotors. Found that out when I was putting my caliper on and it didn't bolt on. So yeah, make sure you're not an idiot like me and pay attention. But there we have the new coil spring, and turn a light on here. New coil spring shocks, upper control arm, lower control arm, ball joints. tie rods, inner and outer, and the sway bar end link. Threw a little bit of paint on the frame too to help make it look prettier. So now I just gotta swap that rotor out with the other new one I just bought, so I can return it and get this sucker over to the alignment shop. Then it's on to the next project, which I think is going to be cab lights. I think. Or maybe find a rear bumper, because the rear bumper on this thing's ugly. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. So that's all. Rebuilt my front end, both sides. Took a few days because I messed up on some parts, but whatever. It's a cheap truck. So feel free to stay tuned, stick along, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and stay tuned for the next video, which I'm pretty sure is going to be cab lights. As always, thanks for watching JDS Outdoors.